Well, hello there. This is TerraXT and another weekly dev log update. This is Snapshot 00143, I think. Yes, 00143. Today is March 12th, 2021. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I got some stuff to go over that's pretty cool. So the first thing first, I did some work on the the equipment screen a little bit, and added some tabs to the bottom of it and changed it around just a little bit with the stats and all that stuff. I can't even remember all that I did. The stats did change around a little bit. I added a frames per second thing down in the bottom right hand corner. You'll notice it's really low, but that's also because I'm recording, streaming, or no, I'm recording, running the server, and running the client on my PC, which it's a pretty beefy PC, but for some reason the FPS is down. It's usually around 60 to 90. But I guess streaming's really taken a lot out of it because I'm actually running it off the same hard drive too. So that makes sense. But anyhow, we got a frames per second monitor down there in the bottom right hand corner. That will be optional when I turn on options and stuff like that. Let's see. Added some tabs. I added some new stats in here that aren't being used right now, but I wanted to just have the placeholders. I don't know how this is going to actually end up looking. It will probably look nothing like this, but that's what I did. I fixed the day-night cycle. The day-night cycle actually works. You can see the sun moving quick. I did speed up the days, but I do have the day-night cycle working again. Pretty good. I know it needs some work still. I'm not too happy with the transitions between day and night, but and the nighttime itself, until it gets to about, I don't know, call it 11 p.m. There's the skylight doesn't look right. There's some work to be done there, but the day and night is actually fixed now. That's all I want to get at with that. I added the FPS. Okay, I added some new portals to the game. So this is one of our new portals. Pretty cool, huh? It's got a sound. This is actually a project that I downloaded where somebody had already done the portals for me. They would need some retexturing, but I played around with the physics bodies here, the what's it called, particle effects. So anyhow, we got teleportation, and this is more of an Asheron's Call style portal. I haven't figured out how to get it to work exactly like Asheron's Call, but I did get it, set up like that. I need to get the collision fixed because I took away the actual portal isn't here, but it still has the physics on both sides. I need to just adjust the model. But anyhow, we've got a new teleporter. That's pretty cool. That was actually a big endeavor. I'm making light of it, but it's really nice versus these right here. And it's just another option. And I think that a lot of this can be used. Why is it so darn dark in here? I really don't know. I don't know why everything's so dark. Maybe it's because it's nighttime. But these portals still work. So we still have that. Let's see. Okay. Turn my light off. We added first person, third person. Did some work on it. So boom. First person. And I had to work on the clipping so that you couldn't see through walls. So I got that pretty much working, but there's still a problem. When I'm running, I can see my arms clipping in front of me, so there's some work to be done on the camera on that. But generally, first and third person is working. I need to fix it so that it's click targeting on third person. That's the only outstanding issue I have there. Is third person, you still have the hover looking, just like when that target cursor was there before. It's still acting like it's there. So that's a thing. Also, we added, I did some work on the flashlight a little bit. It's a little better now. So you can see when I'm in third person, it doesn't go up and down, it just goes side to side, but the flashlight actually works a lot better now. We added some harvestable plants. Just another proof of concept. A harvestable tree. And we still have our nice handy dandy harvestable rock. So gathering is making its moves. I still need to work on animations and stuff, but I did add some things in there, just showing those off. Let's see. I covered the mouse clicking. All right, the only thing that I've got left, I think I'm going to actually restart the game for this one so that we can get daytime. I could have set the time of day, but it's just easier just to restart it. Here, let's get it up. Bear with me here a second. And let's get that, drag that over to this screen. And maximize it. All right. Oh yeah. Before we get into the last part, I'm starting to do some UI work to unify the UI, make it consistent, and I'm trying to work on draggable boxes so that you can drag and resizable boxes, so you can resize the chat window, as well as fixing the dragging functionality. So it's good like this, but it's kind of clunky, and sometimes you can drag things off of the screen. I've got it mostly fixed, but I run into it occasionally, and I found a way around it, but I need to implement that. I don't have it implemented on this box right here, but this is just my test bed. This is the one that I'm working on. Still has the exact same functionality as the inventory screen does. It is the inventory screen, the middle piece, inside this box. I can't drag anything into this because it doesn't replace that. It's just something that has minimal functionality that I'm testing with. You've got an opacity scaler. Eventually I'll have colors. You can see the border changes color. I'm going to have colors so that you can colorize this whole thing and give it a theme if you want to. I don't know if I'm going to do it as an overall theme for the entire game, where you can change all the windows, or make it so that you can actually change independent windows. Then I'm also going to have a lock button, which I don't have right now, but I'm going to have a lock button where you can lock the windows in place. Working on that. All this does, I can open and close it, and it's got a standard border. The border I worked on, and the design of this window itself is going to be consistent and indicative of the rest of the windows in the game. So that's what I was actually working on there, and the options will change, but right now it just has the scale so that you can set the opacity of the window. That's it. So that was that. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you that's new, not that portal. Let's go through this portal. Be a little bit easier. In my dark room here. Oh, I haven't built lighting. That's what it is. That's what's wrong. Okay. You'll notice the lake has changed a little bit. It looks a little different now. You know why that is? We can swim. I have turned on swimming and enabled swimming in the game. We don't have breath or anything like that. You actually float to the bottom. Buoyancy is in effect. That will be affected by weight that you're carrying. And let's see, the swimming animations look pretty good. He comes back up right. And then when we push forward, he's swimming again. I don't have a speed swimming, like a speed up or shift or run or whatever. There we got a weirdo running off. It's the AI. But we can check out things underwater. So we can start building an underwater environment. So that's a big deal this week, is swimming is now in the game, Water World. Eventually I'm going to work on boats, but not just yet. And I need to work on the top texture of the water so you can't see as well in the water. It's a little bit too transparent. I did not include the videos, but I did some play testing in the background on voxels and teleportation. Those are only available on Discord. From now on, all my behind the scenes footage will be available on Discord. There is a special behind the scenes area for that. I did not include some of the testing that I did with new water systems. I downloaded a couple and watched some tutorials, and I came up with a nice water system that is very dynamic, but it tends to be a little bit graphic intensive and processor intensive on the client side. I'm not too worried about the client side because usually when we're playing games, we're running pretty beefy setups. Um, but still, it's worth mentioning that it is processor intensive. So I don't know if I'm going to be implementing it or not. And Unreal Engine also has built in new water systems. You can see our portal over there in the distance. Um, Unreal Engine has its own new water systems that are in place that does non-destructive landscape terraforming. So basically, that means not during runtime. I can actually edit the land with the water just by changing the splines or the shape of the water. It can deform the land. Um, so there's more options available to me. This involved a lot. I had to create the water texture, then I had to create the physics volume that handles the water itself, whether you're swimming or not. Then I had to handle the animations, and I imported some animations of swimming, um, and then an idle swimming state, and I had to set those up as blends, attach those to the character, have them recognize when you're in the water area, when you actually hit the swimming stance. Um, yeah, there was a whole bunch involved with swimming, so that was a big deal. And I did play with, like I said, more different mechanics, more different systems to. I want it to look better, and one of those systems had rippling effects, and when you walked in the water, it showed it. Raindrops affected it. You could throw an item in, it had buoyancy, and it affected the water. Um, I just wasn't really sure if I wanted to take the processor hit from implementing something like that or if I wanted to keep it streamlined and simple. I think I'm probably going to implement like a number of different functionalities for water that all work the same but look different and have their benefits and drawbacks. And I think there'll be different water systems that you can just drag and drop into place. I believe that's how I'm going to end up doing it. But at any rate, that's pretty much all I've got for this week. I knew this was going to be kind of a quick one, or I assumed this would be kind of a quick one. So if you want, you can go to Discord and you can actually look at the behind the scenes footage. It's just really short videos showing me testing out the teleportation systems. And I didn't show any of the coding involved, but just testing out the teleportation system. See that transition? That was kind of rough, and it shows glowy items on the ground. It does fade out, but I'm not too pleased with. Yeah, while I did fix day and night, I definitely made night dark. Um, I need to up the ambient level of the scene. Um, that's something I had turned on before, just so that there was always light. This is more realistic, and this is more akin to what the game would actually look like in when it's done. Lights would actually give off their light in the area, and you would carry a lantern or a torch or something like that at nighttime, or you could have a headlamp. I don't know, magic. Maybe a magic orb that floats around you and lights up the area. There's a lot of different choices there, but um, this is how dark it'll be. It's gonna be dark, and gamma is not gonna help you with it. That's why I got the fog rolling in, because at nighttime, when that fog rolls in, it obscures visibility really well. Um, so anyhow, and I know a lot of the games people will use gamma to get over nighttime and kind of yeah, it's not cheating. It's just using a brighter nighttime so that you can see people off in the distance and stuff. So I wanted to avoid that. You'll still be able to leverage it a little bit if you want to have a really high gamma game, but I think the look is actually pretty nice right now. Um, so that's that. Uh, I did also play with undocumented. I played with remote access and web integration with the version 4.26 of Unreal Engine. They put in an internal a toggleable, you can turn it on, web server. Which what this is going to do is it's going to give me the ability to create a web API where you can actually get live character stats, world stats, player stats, inventory, stuff like that. Destiny comes to mind where you can actually alter your inventory and stuff outside of the game. I'm not saying that I'll give you the ability to do that, but you can actually see all kinds of information from inside the game while it is going on a website. So that's kind of exciting. I was very unsuccessful at trying to implement any of it. I couldn't even get a call to go through properly to the game, and I think it's just I was doing something wrong. It kept giving me an exception, but I could see it coming over to the game. Um, the game was seeing the request, but just said it's not properly packaged, or the request wasn't the proper JSON format. So, anyhow, some work to do on that. Also, Discord. What? There is nothing built in for Discord in Unreal Engine. However, I have done my own thing, and I am working on some, yes, it will be C++ code, but I am working on some C++ code that will implement Discord functionality and the ability to chat and perhaps propagate permissions potentially. I'm not really sure what all functionality I'll be able to get out of it, but I am trying to write a backend that will interface the game with Discord, or more specifically, your guild with Discord. Um, so that is something that's going to potentially be coming. Um, I've just experimented with it, and I don't know how far I'm going to go down that road, but it's just a little side project. Um, I spent a lot of time this week investigating voxel technology. Pulled down the free version of the voxel plugin, spun up a world, created a world, did some edits. I got multiplayer functionality kind of working, but not totally. I think that you have to have the pro version, and one of my concerns with that is the pro version uses a TCP socket to send the world back and forth. So when edits are made, I think it's sending the whole world from one client to the server, then the server to other clients, or it's sending the world from the server to the clients at least. And that is a lot of information to be sent over the network, and I don't know if Voxel, if their plugin is going to be the answer to an editable terrain. And I don't know how well that will play with some of the other functionality built into Unreal Engine, like their water system and their landscape system and stuff like that. So I know it won't work with landscape because it's its own landscape. Excuse me there, sorry. Um, let's see. I did notice some issues with it. NPC spawning and movement was a bit erratic. They would spawn underground sometimes, and they would float above the ground and run like in the air. Pathing was off. The videos that I watched on their examples were a little unimpressive. So I don't know if that's going to be the end. If I'm going to go with the voxel technology or not. But it is something that's just in the back of my mind, and it's something to think about. See what else. I did start looking at the networking, the teleporting system. I showed that off a little bit, or I explained that a little bit. There is going to be a little small video of it in the Discord. Um, I can see all kinds of problems that I'm going to have with this. So yeah, it's just now starting to be worked on. Uh, a lot of rewrites, a lot of code rewrites to make it work. It didn't carry over all the stats because some of the stats are in the player character model instead of or the player character blueprint instead of the controller blueprint, and the controller blueprint is what carries over in client travel mode. So yeah, I think the game looks so much better and crisper at nighttime, and it's more threatening. Oh, God, that hurt, dude. So at any rate, I think that's just about all I've got. One little last note is I've got a thought. Um, there is a system that I don't know if it's in full production or not. Look at my FPS; it's down to like 8. Oh, that's because I wasn't on the screen. Never mind. Because it does drop when I'm not targeting the screen. Um, OWS offers functionality for instancing teleportation server clouds and stuff like that. It's called Open World Server or Open World System or something like that. It's not really a plugin. It's an entire tool that's designed for having multiple servers and an MMO with instanced worlds so that you can have a maximum number of people and then it'll create a new instance if you exceed that maximum. So it's something that I'm also thinking about and looking at, but then the problem is every one of these third-party things that I implement means that's something that I can't deliver on when I make it public. So um, I mean, I can, but you're gonna have to. It's one of those things where I'll have to say, okay, you go here, download this, install this. Here's the instructions on how to enable it. I don't know. And then also, in order to get the teleportation system working properly, I'm probably gonna have to have a proper database, which means SQL, Oracle, something like that. It won't be able to be a save game file because I've already experimented with multiple servers running on the same save game file, and there is the potential of corruption, and then also it throws up a bunch of errors when it tries to save/load from an existing save game file on a different server. So I knew that was going to be a limitation. I was trying to keep it simple for everybody so that they could actually use this. I don't know how far. I'm going to have a streamlined, trimmed down version and then a full-fledged version, I think. So at some point, there's going to be a split. And the full version will have all the bells and whistles. The streamlined one will just be my systems. So we'll see how that goes. Anyhow, that's just about all. I know I tend to ramble. I filled out some extra time rambling today. I was really interested in seeing the FPS, and I know it's extremely low. I have done standalone testing, and it runs a lot better. Let's see if I can actually get that to work while I'm streaming. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. Um, since I'm still just going to be running this on the same PC and streaming at the same time, but I'm curious to see if the process is separated and I get better frames than I did before. Bear with me, it's loading up. I can't get it on the screen just yet. Boy, that is slow loading. I mean, it doesn't help that I'm actually streaming at the same time. I need to build the project, but you can see my frames are a lot better on standalone. I'm up to 50, 60, 90, 80, 70, 40, 60. It's a little bit erratic, but it is a lot better. And this is me still streaming on the same PC, running the server in the background, as you can see here. The server is running in the background. I am streaming on OWS, and I'm still getting 60 frames. It's just in editor, it tends to run at a lower frame rate because it's doing a bunch of stuff, debugging and things like that in the background. But having the frames was kind of useful for testing. I can see when I implement like volumetric clouds how far it drops the frames, and it is pretty extreme. Volumetric stuff does kind of kill processing time or CPU, GPU time. So anyhow, that's all I got for you this week. You guys have a great week. Thank you for watching again. Like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. You guys spread the word. Join us on Discord. I'm doing a move over the next couple of months to Patreon, and that way people can actually support me if they like to, if they want to, wish to. And Discord will be the medium for that. That's where the information and all of the behind the scenes footage and everything that I offer will be. I don't know what those offerings are going to be for different tiers just yet. I don't even know how that's going to play out, and I don't have a Patreon page set up yet. But I am working towards that. If you could spread the word, get it out there, that I definitely do appreciate, and you guys have a great week. Thank you very much. Bye.